What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. This is the Arnell Agenda. I'm your host, Lawrence Arnell. I got a guest on the line today who is somebody who is very special to me. I promise y'all, I will not say that with everybody that comes on the show. Sooner or later, somebody's going to call in or visit, and I ain't going to give a shit about them. But that's not today. Today's guest is somebody who, if you follow me at all musically, if you heard my album, Beast or Brethren, this guy was instrumental in that, and no pun intended. He actually helped me meet a goal and accomplish something that I'd never been able to do on my own. I was able to get my own album done with one producer, one extraordinarily talented individual. My man Rob Viktum is on the line. What's up, bro?
Peace. What's good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm just chilling, man. Glad to be talking with you.
Nah, thank you, man. I appreciate your time, man. This is great. We should have had this conversation a long time ago. We was talking a little while ago about how Texans, I don't even have to talk to my brothers, to my brothers from Texas. Much like when I worked with Zilla on the Monster Mr. Arnell LP, we did that basically through sending the music back and forth and through text messages, and you and I had a very, very similar experience. We recorded a whole album like just emailing each other.
Yeah, I think this is the most we've ever talked, period.
It absolutely is, yeah. It really is, and I don't know, I think it says a lot for the project that we were able to complete, how complete it was, and how well done it was, that we were able to do it without even having to speak much. It's like we were just on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I feel like as a producer, sometimes it's man, sometimes you send, like I'll send like a stack of beats to people, and I won't hear nothing from them for months. Like I got stuff out right now that's been out, 8-9 months from dudes that I can't get a peep out of.
Wow.
Now. But with you, I would send you like 2 or 3 joints, and then like in a week you had reference joints to me, and that's the fastest I've ever seen anyone work.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. My homie Baby Black, who was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, he basically got fed up with me at one point, yo. He was like, yo, you're not making enough music, so we're gonna teach you how to do the shit yourself, right? So
yeah,
he came through the crib, and we were talking a little while ago about Macs and PCs and shit. And at the time, I was working with this HP computer. It was a fucking nightmare, bro. And but he taught me how to use Ableton to record, and basically how to record myself. So having a studio at home makes that possible. It's like if you send me fire, you get me in my groove, you're gonna get music like within hours, because all I have to do is come downstairs and turn the fucking computer on. And it's I've made more music in the last 5 years than I have in the first 30. Like, just because it's that much more accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just about to say it's wild.
Yeah.
How accessible things are now. Like I don't even make music on my MPC anymore. I'm making beats and shit on my iPad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like I've got there's a single that I just produced for my man Supreme Cerebral from Cali that's out right now with I did that on a fucking iPad Pro.
That's incredible, yo. I personally I like to cheat a little bit. I use my iPad to make most of the beats I've been doing lately too. Little joints I've been dropping, SoundCloud, stuff like that. But again, same thing. I make the beats on the iPad. I cheat a little bit. I use the GarageBand. What are you using on the iPad to make your beats?
So it's kind of a combination of a couple of things.
Yeah, I know you usually have to pair a couple of things together to get that done.
So for me, the all-in-one type situation is this program called Beatmaker 3.
Okay.
It's way more intuitive than my MPC is. I can record samples directly from vinyl right into my iPad and chop them and everything just like I can on my MPC.
Okay.
Only this bad boy's with me everywhere I go.
Right.
And it's insane. I also use another program called Koala Sampler, which is more like for cats that are familiar with like the lo-fi hip hop stuff. It's kind of like an iPad version of like an SP404 or an SP303.
Okay.
It's like if you're just doing some like drum loop type stuff and like little glitchy stuff, that's dope. But for the main stuff that I do, everything's on Beatmaker 3.
Okay. Now, how did you make the decision to even go in that direction? What gear were you using prior to making the switch over to the iPad?
Man, I've had everything. The first actual real piece of gear I ever had was an SP1200. And if anybody knows, that's about 10 and a half seconds of sampling time.
Yo, do you still have that? Like in your possession?
No.
Really? You let that go?
Yeah, I do. Well, do you hear that?
Nah, what you hearing? You got some kind of feedback?
I'm hearing like, hold on. Boom. There it goes.
You good?
There was something, there was an Instagram video playing in the background for some fucking reason.
That's what's up.
No, my SP1200 got stolen. That's how I got the name Rob Viktum.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I took the name Rob Viktum as kind of like a fuck you to the guys that stole it.
Right.
But yeah, I lost the SP, then I moved on to the MPC 2000 XL.
Okay.
And then that eventually led on to me using MPC Renaissance, which most of your record was done on the MPC Renaissance.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Then I moved to the MPC X, which I still have.
Okay.
But it just kind of sits there because
collecting dust. Cause
I discovered this program on the iPad, and I was just like,
that's
this shit's incredible. And I haven't turned my head. I haven't looked back.
Producer by the name of Henny the Business. Got a pretty significant YouTube channel, and that's like his whole MO is working off of the iOS stuff and being like mad mobile. I'm talking about like the Air keyboards and all of that, the wireless keyboards and everything. I mean, he's got his whole flow down. Have you seen his stuff? Or?
Oh yeah. He even edits his video on
LumaFusion.
Yeah, Fusion. Yeah. It's crazy.
Have you thought about?
It's better that it's wild that it's like $20 for an app. Get you professional level stuff. It's crazy.
Not just professional level stuff, but if you are even remotely familiar with how much memory and RAM and so forth like that you need in order to edit video, 4K video is massive. The files are massive, and LumaFusion just sails right through it. It edits 4K video faster than my iMac. It just sails right through like it's nothing. It's actually really incredible. It's incredible what you can do with the iPad alone. Like you said, you rocking with Beatmaker 3 and you're making beats on par with, equipment like the MPC Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
We live in a wild time,
and you can have anything literally at your fingertips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like there's full on recording DAWs on the iPad. Wow. There are people recording their albums, making beats, and recording albums on iPads.
I do so much just in GarageBand, just in the iOS version. Now I don't even touch my desktop version of GarageBand, but like I literally could just sit here in my recliner, make a beat, plug a microphone into the thing, and rap into the microphone and do a whole record in my lap.
It's the point now where like as long as your mic is good,
you're in good shape. You can do whatever you want to do.
It don't matter.
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. So have you thought about doing like I don't know, like tutorial videos or anything like that on Beatmaker 3? Because there's not a lot of that stuff available. I've looked into it. I've actually considered using Beatmaker 3 myself, and I just can't quite find enough detailed tutorials.
I feel like I know it's something that it's something that I could do, but at the same time, it's like I don't know if I could, like when it comes down to like editing the video and stuff. Right. Like I don't like listening to my voice enough. I'd probably just delete that bitch halfway through it and be like, nah, fuck it.
Fuck that.
If somebody has questions, they can just hit me on Twitter or fucking Instagram
All right.
or something.
That's
you know
good
what I mean?
to know because I didn't know what you were using. Yeah, I'm definitely good. I'm gonna get the app and I'm gonna get on your fucking nerves. I can tell you that right now.
No, it should. Just ask
No
away,
doubt.
man.
That's what's up.
Ask away.
So you are in Texas. Another Texas sort of Texas invasion on my damn podcast right now. These Texans are coming in. What part of Texas are you originally from?
I was born in a small town called Amarillo. My father was a playwright, so we spent a lot of time in New York, and I spent a lot of time out there. I'd say a lot of my growing up happened in New York City. Then I would say the majority of my adult life was spent in Dallas, Texas.
Cowboys fan?
But I'm
no.
Hell no.
What?
No.
Do you follow football?
No.
Were you a Giants
yeah.
fan? Okay, yep. I see the Knicks hat. I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
One of my homies played for the Cowboys, Bryce
Really?
Butler. Yeah, he's actually a DJ.
Oh, shit.
I've known him as DJ Duffel Bags forever. I didn't even know he played football until. That's how much I don't pay attention.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't really follow. When I did follow, I was a Cowboys fan. But I haven't followed regular sports since AI left Philly. It's been a while. It's been a long time. You know what happened is I got into motorcycle racing. Because I'd never been an athlete. But I got into motorcycle racing in my earlier 20s because I was actually able to do that. You know what I mean? I had a motorcycle. I got heavy into that stuff. And when I started following professional racing, all the stick and ball stuff kind of like fell to the wayside, especially since AI had left Philly. It was kind of like, all right, well, for what then?
Why are we even talking about it?
You know what I'm saying? So it's been that long. Now you said your dad was a playwright. One of the kids in my girl's class has a dad who's like produces plays and stuff like that. I've never actually met a playwright. That's crazy that he actually did that for a living. Like he literally just wrote plays. Did he write anything else?
Plays were the thing that he was into. Like he wrote music and stuff too. Like he was a drummer and guitar player. My mother plays piano. I came by the music thing naturally, but playwriting was his thing, man. Like he was really, really passionate about it. He had, he did a few things, man, and
that's good stuff. Your mom played piano.
Yeah, man.
Did they? Do you play any instruments at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've been classically trained playing piano since I was about 5.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I'm so
well, it don't mean that I'm good at it now.
I mean, even to be able to read music is helpful when it comes to, I mean, just being able to make beats and find keys and stuff like that. I just never.
Yeah, the finding keys thing is the one thing that I will say that I still can do. If you were to sit me down in front of a keyboard to play something, forget about it. It ain't happening.
I was never.
Put a turntable next to it with some records.
A whole different thing,
happen,
right? Yeah. I was never. I never focused on that kind of stuff. I grew up thinking, you know what I mean. I rap, I sing. That's the way in, And if I knew then what I know now, like I'm trying to get my daughter. My daughter is playing a violin, and it's like you got to remind her to practice, and she's like, I got to practice. It's like, yo, do you want to be good or not? Like you're playing the violin because we paid for it, so that's happening. So do you want to be good or not? It's like, yeah, well, all right, we'll just take 15 minutes and go pluck on the damn strings. You know what I mean? Before you know it, you'll be fucking. You'll be a goddamn legend before you know it. But you just got to stick to it.
10,000 hours.
That's it. All you need. And at 8, that's nothing. Yep.
Yeah, she's on her way.
So you said you got into music naturally. Your parents are performers, creatives. And you started out as a DJ?
So I'd say probably around 12 is when all of that started happening. My dad bought me my first like drum machine. I was still playing piano and stuff at that point, but I discovered the DJing thing, and I kind of never looked back.
Okay. I
turntables were a lot more appealing to me.
I didn't get into DJing until after you could bypass turntables. I took the cheat code, right? And I started out with like a Newmark iDJ, something like that. Just kind of like, because I was never really serious about it. Like I said, growing up, I was very focused on performing, emceeing, singing, and so forth. And I wish I had taken the time. There's two things I really wish I had taken the time to learn to do in my youth. One is cut hair, and the other one is actually learn to DJ with turntables. I feel like I cheated myself because DJing is the only hustle I've ever had that nobody has asked me to do for free. Nobody expects you to DJ for free. I don't care how cool y'all are. You know what I'm saying? I've DJ'd my friends' weddings, and it was never a question of, yo, can you hook us up? It was never like that. Everything else I've ever done, at some level, people will ask you to shoot video for free. Like, they think the shit comes out of the camera done. But nobody asks you to DJ for free, and I wish I had learned how to do that from the gutter.
Well, I have a theory behind that. The reason people never ask you to do it for free is because whenever you're paying somebody for something, you feel like you have some sort of control over that.
Everybody wants to control a DJ.
Yeah. So everybody wants you to be the fucking jukebox.
You make their requests. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that's why I don't DJ weddings. That's why I strictly DJ in the club or for rappers.
And I spent most of my time DJing weddings. Because
it's too much pressure for me. Too much pressure.
I won't say I agree with that. It was a lot of pressure. But it was also technically it was easier to do. Because even if people were coming at you with requests and stuff like that, it wasn't hard to get the stuff done. It wasn't like every time you changed record, it had to be blended perfectly. Nobody expected you to be scratching. If you played a record 3 times throughout the course of the evening, everybody else kind of assumed it was because somebody requested it, not because you couldn't think of what else to put on right now or nothing like that. So I didn't mind it because it was so much easier to do than like rocking a club. I did some club stuff and it was kind of like, ugh. Like, you got to keep people moving. You're really responsible for that. And but I wish I had learned how to cut. I just never. My left hand is good for like squeezing toothpaste and reloading my firearm. That's it. It's like I can't. I have no, like, if it requires 2 hands, it's gonna take me twice as long. You know what I mean? As opposed to half the time, which it should. You know what I'm saying? Now you have been doing something recently that I think is very interesting, and that I find a number of producers are trying to get their hands into lately. You have been creating a library of musical compositions. I need to know how that goes down. How do you even get into something like that?
So, it's funny. We were just talking about, like keyboards and reading music and shit like that. And for me, for years, I've been chasing these records called library records. Library records, like labels like KPM and Bruton. And these were records specifically made for TV shows and movies, and they're theme based. Okay. So like you'll have a record that says, like car chase, or you'll have a record that says, like suspense, and like every fucking song on that record will be some sort of crazy violent instrumental type thing. And for me as a producer, I was chasing those type of records because at one point people weren't hip to them. Okay. And so like you're trying to collect them as much as you can.
That's still news to me. I never heard of that before.
Well, in peace to my man Vanderslice, he's the one that really put me on to a whole lot of that stuff. But you can only chase them for so long before everybody has them, right? and nobody's really making that type of
Anymore,
vibe
okay.
anymore. So I was like, well, if I'm going to keep making beats like this, I've got to figure out some way to reconstruct this whole feeling of records. And so I came up with the brand Kersey and Castle, which is half Paul Kersey, which is the character from Death Wish, and Frank Castle, the Punisher. And I put them together as Kersey and Castle, and like I make original drum breaks for producers to sample, because it's you know, like you still find drum breaks in the wild, but it's not as what it used to be, right?
My preferred method of drums. I love break beats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loop them.
Yep.
Loop them, and just throw something dope over them. And that's the whole idea behind Kersey and Castles. Like we have, you know, like Heavy Ammo Breaks Volume 1 and 2, just straight drum breaks, and then I've got all the music for silencer stuff. Like it's all based around like movies and shit that I loved as a kid.
That's really dope, yo. Yeah,
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Vanderslice, because he's my favorite music snob, yo. It's like
you need to get him on the podcast.
I really,
soon.
Yeah, like I have to get him on soon, right?
Yeah, soon.
I gotta hit him up. We've worked together a couple of times. I did some stuff with him and AWAR. That's actually how we met. They hit me up to do a hook on a record for AWAR, which he didn't even produce. I think it was M Phases actually produced that record, but Vanderslice is the one who pulled me in on that, and we did a record together. He gave out a bunch of beats one year. He picked like 5 artists and he gave beats to on his birthday, and I was one of the artists that he selected, and we did that record together too. But tremendously talented dude. Incredible music snob. I love how high and mighty he is about music, like, because he can back it the fuck up, you know what I mean? yeah,
he can. That's the thing, is like he's 100% the way he is, but he's 100% the way he is because he is that dude. He is absolutely that dude.
I think it's super dope. It's like, yo, we'll work together, but you have to go to Scott Stallone and mix your shit. Like, what? Like, what if I want to mix my own shit?
That's the only way it's
you're not doing
done.
that. It's not happening. Yeah, I fucks with that guy, man. So the Kersey, where is Kersey and Castle material available? How does like a producer like myself want some drum breaks, want some original instrumentation? How do I get my hands on that?
You can go to just kerseyandcastle.com.
Okay.
Yep. They also are a lot of the stuff is available through machinemasters.com also.
What are you working on now? What's coming up? What's coming up soon? Beast of Brethren 2 or what? What's popping?
I mean, we've been talking.
We've
been talking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm definitely down. You know I am. I've got I'm doing a little something called, I'm still working on the title, but it's something involving Lucy's, because I got lots of little 16s here and there that I haven't really formatted into songs. So probably put like a beat with some like stuff sprinkled in there. You know, I've got a 16 from Benny the Butcher that I've been sitting on. I've got some, you know, I got a joint with Sky Zoo. I got a joint with my man Big Twins. I've just got stuff laying around that I haven't done anything with that I needs to be out. Okay. You know? So that's up. My man Shiest got a new record. It's done. That's done, which is being mixed down right now. I'm trying to think. I'm doing lots of like instrument stuff for like Sealands, stuff for like Stu Bangas. Lots of stuff for those guys.
That's dope.
I can't talk about it, but two producers that I can't even believe even know who the fuck I am have recently participated in Kersey and Castle stuff, so I'm interested to see where that stuff goes. But I'm just working on beats, man. Trying to get stuff out.
I didn't realize how close knit all you guys are. Like you said, you've been working with Stu Bangers and C Lance. I didn't realize that you and Vanderslice were as tight as y'all are. I think that that's dope. That among all the artists that I know, guys that I'm close to, cats that we make music with, are also. I mean, you guys are close in your own right, and I think that's pretty dope. I've done a lot of work with C Lance. I haven't had the opportunity to work with Stu yet. I need to get on top of that too before it's all said and done.
You just reach out to him. I'll make the intro if you want to.
We've
That's
actually
one of the
we've
coolest
met
dudes
before,
on the planet.
And we're connected, social media and all of that. Like we communicate.
Yeah.
Just haven't had the record happen yet. Is all.
He's one of the coolest dudes on the planet
too, man.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is when we met, I was bigger than him. This was like in like 2013, 2014, and I was still pretty. You know, before I got diabetes, I was pretty sizable. I was running around like 230, 240. And yeah, when we met, he was like, "Damn, yo, you big." I was like, "But that motherfucker is huge, man. Dude's huge now."
Yeah, I feel like somehow he's making beats
like
while
he's the
lifting
only.
weights. I don't know how
if
he's doing
anybody
it.
could do it, it's got to be him. Nobody else could do it.
Yeah, how he's doing it, I don't know, but he's doing it.
That's good stuff, man. So where are you? What's your opinion on like the music that's coming out now? Are you working with any of these new hip hop artists, or you?
Man, you know, like,
you slow them down so they stop mumbling so much or something, man.
Well, the thing is though, like, you know, like, I have a weird opinion on this stuff, like, considering the kind of music that I make. Like, as a, you know, like, I DJ in the club still, so a lot of the stuff that you hear and, you know, I predominantly would hate,
right,
I'm having to play, right? So I might have one night a week where I'm playing nothing but street shit. You know, where I'm playing nothing but, you know, like 90s
right,
bangers and shit like that. But like on a Friday, Saturday night, let's be honest,
come out,
like you're not gonna fill a club full of fucking heads. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
So like, I'm gonna be playing fucking Drake, and I'm gonna be playing all that stuff that we may not appreciate, but some of it I can, you know, some of it I get down with. It just, you know, none of it bothers me like it used to be. Like, if I was in my 20s saying this, I'd be like, man, fuck all that shit. I'll never fucking do that. Fuck them.
No doubt.
You know, I'm not like that.
Nah,
no
I mean,
more, man.
if you spend enough time listening to anything, you're gonna start finding stuff that resonate with you. You know what I mean? So, some of these producers, every now and then you find one, and some of the music is actually pretty dope. If you can get past trap drums, musically, some of the stuff is pretty dope.
Yep.
You know what I mean, guys?
Well, I think, you know, even I think some of that stuff is dying off.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
It's you know, like, the older you get, the you know, like, you see the waves come and go, right? I thought for sure this trap thing was going to be gone a long time ago, and it's just now starting to fade. Yeah. And some of the organic stuff is coming back into the fold.
Were you familiar with this kid Pop Smoke prior to like today's news? Nah.
No, man. I didn't know anything about him until this morning.
You know how long that kid had to be popping to have an album out at 20? Like, he had to be making noise somewhere at like 16 to be dropping an album when he was 20. And then like 2 weeks out.
Yeah, I feel terrible that I didn't know anything
it's
about
crazy.
him.
It's crazy that in this day and age, like, you can't even be successful. I mean, you have to take some sort of responsibility for the way you conduct yourself. When you get to that level, you got to recognize. But at 20, who expects him to really get all that? I don't expect him to get all that.
Man, you couldn't have told me shit at 20 years old if I had access to shit he did.
Not at all.
You couldn't have told me nothing.
That's wild. It's almost like, well, I can't expect you to have your shit together, but at the same time, there should have been somebody on your team. At playing at that level, you gotta have somebody in your corner. I swear to God, I don't care who you are out there, man. If you are trying to make moves in this world, you need to have somebody in your corner who could tell you to fucking chill. You can't go far in life with nobody in your world that could tell you to fall the fuck back, yo. Like, you're being an asshole right now. That shit is sure. Key.
I mean, you know, life's too short, man. Life's too short, and, you know, like, for us folks that have been fortunate enough to reach to you know, the age that we're at, you know, like, we've seen some shit
Absolutely.
in our lives
Yeah.
for sure, you know. But in the world of social media and stuff like that, man, like people can
Absolutely.
get
Absolutely.
touched
It don't take nothing.
now.
It don't take nothing. No,
You
I
you,
mean,
you
well,
can't hide no
first of all,
more.
you're not trying to hide anymore. That's almost what social media
Yeah,
is. It's digitally
yeah.
coming
Here I
out of the
am.
house, right? So it's like you let everybody
Yeah,
know where you are, what you up to, what you into. Even if you're not telling them where you are at the moment, everybody knows what you're into. So eventually they know how to find you. You know what I mean? They just got to go to the places where that kind of shit
yep,
is popping. But when we get to the level where you are literally showing your address, this is where I'm at in strange
yeah,
places. Like you're not home, yo. You know what I mean? Them ain't your people out
yeah,
there.
yeah. You don't have access to
Exactly.
your
Exactly.
comforts.
It's scary, man. I wish his family well and his loved ones. I wish him peace and all that, man. But it's to
Yeah,
anybody out there on the way up, yo, you have to have somebody in your corner who could tell you when you're being a dickhead. Like you have to have somebody in your corner you trust enough to just trust them. That shit is absolutely key.
yeah. You
Absolutely,
gotta have the
no
chin
doubt,
check.
yo. Listen, bro, I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
This has been awesome. We have to do this again, and we will.
yeah, for
No,
sure,
no
man.
doubt, yo.
Thanks for
I
having me.
thank you. I thank you so much, man. And we will be chopping it up because I'm going to download Beatmaker 3 tonight, and we're going to learn how to use that shit. That no doubt.
Just hit me, bro. We can
My
FaceTime.
man, I
I'll show you
appreciate
everything
that,
I know.
yo. Listen, guys, this has been the Arnell Agenda with my guest, Rob Viktum, my brother. My name is Lawrence Arnell. I appreciate your time and your attention. And I'll check y'all out in the next one. But whatever you do, please do good first. All right?